Decades have passed, but the trauma endured here, so damaging, so deep, stopped time for this man.
As a child, you never forget that face, that look of an animal. He was an animal looking at you.
He can still see his accused abuser's eyes. He can still remember his smell.
That cologne, just reeks. This was 40 years ago this happened, and it takes me right back to that same day.
At St. Charles Borromeo on Houston's north side, he was a 12-year-old altar boy serving under Terrence Brinkman, the priest he remembers with that reeking cologne, Father Terry.
As a 12-year-old child, nobody should ever go through that.
He speaks only in shadow. He asked us to change his voice because what he went through to this day, his own children don't even know.
It was a premeditated attack. He used chloroform to come from behind me and put me out. I really can't remember besides me just waking up for just a second or two. But that second or two, I looked back and I could see it was him. I could see that he had his shirt unbuttoned, his trousers were off, and he had me straddled from behind.
He says Father Terry, still wearing his priestly collar, sodomized him in a room behind the sacred altar.
When he seen that I was coming to, he just went ahead and hit me again with the chloroform, and I was out.
In what condition did you wake up?
When I woke up, my shorts and my underwear were down by my ankles. And what was so bad about this is that my bicycle that I had rode to church in, he placed it right there next to me. He left me naked outside.
Left outside in a church courtyard, he rode home dazed and in pain. He didn't tell a soul.
I didn't know what had happened. I was shocked. As I speak about it now, it's horrible.
The horror, he says, almost happened again. While in the altar boy dressing room, Father Terry, he says, began to grope him.
I exploded. I said some very bad obscenities, and I ran out to the side door.
He says another priest was walking by and intervened, and soon Father Terry was no longer at his church.
He was gone, not a week or two, not a day or two, but he was gone that day.
The church knew.
Of course they knew. Of course they knew.
But records show Father Brinkman called the move a normal transfer to a temporary assignment at another parish. That was 1976. From there, Father Brinkman continued serving the church while his accuser buried the abuse for years. Then in 2010, he sued as John Doe, but a judge threw the case out. The statute of limitations had expired. Father Brinkman denied ever molesting children, and the Archdiocese says John Doe provided a physical description of the priest that allegedly abused him that does not match Father Brinkman, something this survivor calls nonsense.
It's welded in your mind. It never leaves. It's the same thing over and over.
But Cardinal Daniel DiNardo says Father Brinkman has never faced any other abuse claims, and an Archdiocesan Review Board recommended that the priest remain in ministry at St. John the Evangelist.
To this day, you can go to Baytown on a Sunday and hear Mass from Father Terry.
As a priest, you're the shepherd. You're supposed to be the shepherd, protecting the flock, protecting the sheep. How do you let a wolf into the flock?
John Doe blames Cardinal DiNardo for not doing more, and he doubts the Archdiocese will include Father Terry on a list of credibly accused priests to be released soon.
And they know about this. That's what's so appalling. It's a shame.
Can you forgive?
I can forgive Father Terry Brinkman under one condition, that he comes clean. If he comes clean and he tells his story the way it should be, I will forgive him.
And if not?
Unforgivable. Never. But I know that one day he'll have to answer to the man above. And that'll be justice then.